Uncanny valley. There's a specific kind of something looks almost human, but not quite. A
Yeah.
CGI character in a movie that's realistic, but something about the eyes feels wrong. A humanoid robot that moves slightly too
Yeah, like that, bro. Like, what is it doing with his bottom eyes? Nobody goes like, like,
smoothly or
look.
slightly too stiffly. A wax
Yeah,
figure
no.
of a celebrity that looks exactly like them, but somehow makes your skin crawl.
No, those are chill. Wax figures are chill if they look good. Because I know a lot of wax figures can look trash.
This is called the uncanny valley. The name comes from the idea that as something becomes more human-like, your comfort with it generally increases, right up until it gets very close to human, and then
Yo,
suddenly your
yeah,
reaction
nah.
drops off a cliff into unease. It's a valley on a graph between clearly not human and
Oh,
actually human, and things
wait, I didn't know that. That's kind of smart. Wait.
that fall into it trigger a deep, instinctive wrongness. The
Yeah,
leading
nah.
explanation is that your brain is pattern matching constantly, and something that's close
Wait,
but
what
not
was
right
that?
triggers a mismatch alarm.
Yo, yeah.
It also may have evolutionary roots. Humans learn to detect subtle signs of illness, injury, or deception in other humans, and something that looks almost but not
Yeah,
quite
that's
right
just.
activates that
Yo.
ancient warning system. Your brain can't figure out what it's looking at, and that uncertainty reads as threat. Deja vu.
Deja vu is like one of the craziest things ever. I'm not even like deja vu is just like insane. Cause you just like I don't even know how to explain it, bro.
You're somewhere you've never been before. A new city, a first conversation, a situation you definitely haven't experienced. But there's this feeling,
But
this sense
it's the feeling that you've been there and done that.
that this exact moment has happened before. You can't say when. You just feel sure about it. That's deja vu, French for
It
already
J
seen, and almost everyone has had it. The most
oh
accepted explanation is a misfiring in memory processing. Your brain has two systems that normally work in
yo,
sync.
I've had deja vu happen to me where I like lost something. I had deja vu. I remembered where the thing was and I went over there and I found it. It was that crazy.
One that handles new experiences, one that handles memory retrieval.
So
Sometimes
I might actually
the
yeah.
memory system fires when it shouldn't and labels a completely new moment as something familiar. The experience is new. The feeling of recognition is a mistake. And then there's the flip side, which almost nobody's heard of. Jamais vu, French for never
Jamais vu.
seen.
Jamais vu. Why do you say it like that?
It's
Wait, I like how he said it like that. Jamais vu.
when something you know completely well suddenly feels totally unfamiliar. A
I don't know any times I've had that. I mean, it's probably happened,
word
but
you've
I
written
don't
your
know.
whole life looks like it's spelled wrong.
No, that is so true, dude. When you write or you say something too fast and too much, it just sounds like it's just nothing.
A route you've driven 100 times feels like somewhere you've never been.
Nah,
It's the
I
same
have that.
glitch, just in reverse. Your brain calling something familiar new instead of something new familiar. The Mandela effect. A lot of
Yo, this thing sucks. Mandela effect. Like,
people have a clear memory of Nelson Mandela dying in
actually,
prison in the 1980s. The problem is, it never happened. He was released in 1990 and died in 2013 as a former
yo, what?
president. And yet the memory feels real to a surprising number of people. This is the Mandela effect, when large groups of people share the same false memory. The Monopoly man having a monocle. The line being mirror, mirror on the wall, when it was always
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest?
or when Pikachu
Oh,
never ever had a black tip on his tail. Countless people remember these
I didn't know
things the
that.
wrong way and remember them confidently. The explanation isn't parallel universes, it's just how memory works. Your brain doesn't record events like a camera, it reconstructs them, filling in gaps using logic and expectation.
Mm,
The Monopoly man
okay.
wears a top hat and a suit, so of course
Yes.
he has a monocle.
Yes.
That's what that type of character looks like, except he doesn't. The expectation was so strong that millions of brains filled it in the same way, and now millions of people have the same wrong memory. Shared false memories aren't proof
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Jiffy. Okay, it was never Jiffy.
of alternate timelines. They're proof that everyone's memory is less reliable than they think.
What's
Derealization. Going about your day,
derealization?
and then, out of nowhere, reality feels slightly wrong. Not in any way you can point to. Everything looks the same, but it feels like you're watching your life through a pane of glass, like the world around you is a very convincing set, and you're not entirely sure you're actually
Is that the back rooms?
and you're not entirely
No, I don't know if I've had this happen to me. It might have, but the only thing I really know that's happened to me is the deja vu one, bro, and the Mandela effect, bro. That and yeah, those two I know have for sure happened. But this one, I don't really know.
entirely sure you're actually in it. It's like you've suddenly entered a dream in which you're slightly conscious. This is derealization, and it's more common than most people realize. It usually shows up during periods of stress, exhaustion, or anxiety, and can last anywhere from a few seconds to several hours. There's another version called depersonalization, where instead of the world feeling unreal, you feel unreal. Like you're watching yourself from outside your own body, yet you feel like a stranger to this body
Yo,
and
wait.
mind. To this body,
That
yet you
is
feel like it's
a-
all unreal. Like you're watching.
That is a crazy picture right there. Because it makes total sense. Like, that, the big eye is like you, but then the little person behind the eye, looking through the eye, is also you, looking through you. That's crazy.
yourself from outside your own body, yet you feel like a stranger to this body and
Yeah, that too, bro.
mind. Both are generally the brain's stress response doing something unhelpful. When things feel overwhelming, the brain sometimes dials down the intensity of your experience as a kind of buffer. The side effect is that everything feels slightly fake. You're both numbed and slightly panicked. It's really weird and not pleasant at all. It passes on its own for most people, and knowing what it is makes it considerably less frightening when it shows up.
Chat.
Sleep paralysis.
Yo,
You
have y'all ever played the game Silent Hill? Wait, Silent Hill or Silent Still? Doesn't matter. That's a sleep paralysis horror game. Definitely go check it out. That game is so scary, bro. Scary. Like you're just sitting there, and then the little lady like runs at you. She's just standing in the corner. She starts crawling on the ceiling. I'm like, bro. And this happens in real life too.
wake up, or you think you do. You're conscious, you can see your room, you know exactly where you are, but you can't move.
But
Not
you
a finger.
can't move.
Sometimes there's something in the room with you.
Stop.
A shadow, a figure, a presence.
Nope. Skipping over that.
Every culture.
I ain't watching that, bro.
Before anyone understood it, people called it demons, witches,
Demons.
a supernatural visitor sitting on your chest. The Old English name was the hag. Across thousands of
The
years,
hag?
dozens of cultures, the descriptions are almost identical. A dark figure, a weight on the chest, something.
And you can't move, and it's just there. It's just there. It's just like this, just staring at you like this. And you can't move. You can't move, bro. You just gotta take it until you
Watching.
finally.
What's actually
move.
happening is a timing error. During REM sleep, your brain paralyzes your body so you don't act out your dreams. Normally, this switches off the moment you wake up. In sleep paralysis, the paralysis lingers after your consciousness returns. You're awake, but your body is still in sleep mode. The figures are hallucinations. Your brain still half in a dream state, generating images that bleed into waking.
Wait, but why? Why are the images that you're imagining scary? I want to know that.
It's not a ghost.
Stop.
It's your brain caught between two states at once.
Stop.
Childhood amnesia.
What is this?
Think back as far as you can.
I can't.
For
Oh
most
wait.
people,
Okay, wait. Think back. The only reason I can think back as far as I can is pictures. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's
earliest clear
hard.
memory is around age 3 or 4.
Oh, maybe if somebody told me the like what happened, but nah.
Before that,
That ain't
almost
me.
nothing. Maybe a few blurry fragments, and even those are hard to trust, which is strange, because those first years were some of the most intense experiences of your life. You learned to walk, to
Talk.
understand the world,
Ye-
and you remember
Oh.
almost none of it. This is childhood amnesia, and it happens to basically everyone. The part of the brain responsible for forming long-term memories, the hippocampus, is still
Hippocampus.
developing in early childhood, and isn't yet equipped to store
Oh.
experiences in a way that survives.
That'd be sick though. If you could like store those memories, like imagine if you had the memories stored in your mind of when you're being birthed. That'd be crazy.
Lives into adulthood. There's also a language component. A lot of how we store memories involves attaching words to experiences.
Okay,
And
that
before
makes
language
sense.
fully develops, events are much harder to hold on to. The strange part is that young children aren't experiencing life any less vividly.
So, what happens if your little toddler learns to like talk like soon or like understand English at like 2 or 3? That'd be crazy. Then do they get that, or is that hippocampus still like updating?
They're laughing, crying, forming attachments, having strong feelings about things. It's all happening in full intensity. It just doesn't make it through to the other side. Whoever you were at age 2 is almost completely gone to you now. The doorway effect.
That's crazy.
Get up with a clear purpose, walk into the next
Yo,
room,
doors. That game's fire.
and the second you get there, the thought is completely gone.
Oh,
You stand there trying to
happens all the time.
retrieve it, you can't. Walk back to where you started, and then you remember.
No. Sometimes, but not all the time.
This is called the doorway effect, and it happens because your brain organizes memory by environment. When you're in a specific space, your brain groups together the thoughts and intentions that belong to that context. Walking through a doorway triggers a kind of mental reset. The brain closes out the previous context
That's
and opens a
crazy.
new one. The intention you had in the other room got filed with that room. Going back works because you've re-entered the context where the thought
Wait, but
was
if you
formed.
re-enter, do you forget thinking about what you were thinking about in the other room?
Your
Bro,
memory
shut
wasn't
up.
failing. It was organizing by location, the way it always does. It just happens to be inconvenient when you're trying to remember why you walked into the kitchen. Alice in Wonderland syndrome. You're lying in bed or sitting quietly and something feels off about your own body. Your hands look too small or too large. The room feels like it's stretching away from you. Objects nearby seem way bigger or way further than
Yeah,
they
nah, that ain't never happened to me.
actually are. Everything feels slightly wrong in scale, like the world has been resized without telling you. This is Alice in Wonderland syndrome, named after Lewis Carroll's story, where Alice spends most of her time either too big or too small for the space she's in.
What?
It's a neurological condition that distorts perception of size, distance, and sometimes time. It's most common in children and tends to show up at night or just before sleep, though it can occur at any age. It's most often associated with migraines, viral illness, or the brain's activity just before sleep.
Oh,
The leading cause
okay.
is thought to be unusual electrical activity in the parts of the brain that process size and spatial perception, the same areas that, when working normally, help you judge.
Yo, imagine being here, like, in real life. Like, walking on these beams around your side. Whoa. Whoa.
How far away something is and how large it actually is. When they misfire, your sense of scale goes with them. Lewis Carroll himself is believed to have experienced it, which may have been part of what inspired the story.
That looks uncanny.
Semantic satiation. Pick any word and repeat it 10 times in a row.
Yo, this is what I was talking about. Okay. Let's pick the word phone. Phone.
Chair, 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 chair. By the end, the word has stopped sounding like a word. It sounds like a noise, a random collection of sounds that doesn't seem to mean anything. You know what it means,
What
but
the
it's temporarily
freak?
lost all sense of meaning and just sounds strange. This is semantic satiation. When you repeat a word rapidly, the neural pathways that connect the sound to its meaning get temporarily fatigued from firing so
What?
fast. The
Dude,
connection
that's so
between the sound and
crazy,
the
bro.
concept weakens for a moment, and the meaning just doesn't load. The sound remains. The sense disappears. It recovers within a few seconds once you stop, but in that window, completely ordinary words feel alien. It works on
Oh,
written words too.
what?
Stare at any word long enough, and it starts to look like it might be
Square,
spelled wrong,
square,
or like
square,
something from
square.
another language entirely.
Word.
Your brain just needs a short break before it can process it normally again. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up.
Yo,
But if you really liked it, hit the subscribe button.
you know what? We subscribed and we hitting that like button.